Hello everyone and welcome back to Tub Talk. It's been a while, so we've had a little gap in our videos, our audios, our whatever you want to call them. So we're going to call this one Season 3, Episode 0. You guys are here for the beginning of something new, a new age, one would say. New age of video audios. Yeah? But anyways, I'm Viz.
I'm Sable.
Yes, she's here, even though she's trying to play.
I was trying to come up with something clever.
Sometimes that takes a while.
Age of the Tubocalypse. We're in the tub.
Tubocalypse.
Tubocalypse. Tubocalypse.
Age of Tubocalypse.
I can't even say it.
I like it. That works. Alright. So yeah, so we do this thing where we sit in the hot tub talking about MSF a little bit, maybe a little bit about something else, while we drink some of our favorite drinks and relax at the same time. You guys can listen in and chime in and chat.
Wouldn't exactly call water one of my favorite drinks, but it's about all I can drink these days.
Oh, whatever. Whatever you choose to drink these days. You gotta say that correctly.
It seems to have gluten in it and or some sort of cross-contamination with gluten.
That's true. That's true.
Ridiculous. The slightest bit of gluten.
Slightest, yeah, she has a gluten allergy now, so yeah, we're having to do some fun stuff. But anyways, let's turn the bubbles down and get to talking. So anyways, it's been a while. How you guys been doing? I know you can't really respond, but you can in chat, so how have you been doing? What have you been doing since the last video?
Who you been doing?
That could be a question too. If it's the same person, somebody different, or multiple partners, that's fine.
You do you, boo.
You do you, boo boo. So anyways, on the subject of drinks, so I have a graveyard tonight. So I am drinking a Ghost energy drink, Welch's Grape Soda. It is absolutely fan-fucking-tabulous. It really is.
Yeah, he was so excited I found it on Amazon to have it auto-delivered monthly.
So I don't know if any of y'all drank Welch's grape juice when you were a kid, or the Welch's Grape Soda when you were a kid, or had Lime Rickies from Arctic Circle. That's a little more niche thing there, but oh my gosh, these things taste just like it. So good. So yummy. And then, wife, what do you got?
Water.
I know the water.
Then,
what's the other thing?
Topico, I don't know, it's the hibiscus. No,
the Topicoco?
The blueberry. Yeah, blueberry hibiscus.
Blueberry hibiscus.
But even it, I swear, even though they say they're gluten-free, maybe it's the bubbles. I don't know.
Could be the bubbles. Activates your tum-tum.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse. A lot of people with gluten allergies have far worse symptoms than me. It just causes me to uncontrollably burp.
Yeah?
It's almost like a tick. Tourette's.
Ticks. Speaking of ticks, they've ticked quite a few of these little check boxes of what not to do in Scopely around these little bits. There's a little thing called Overpowered now in the game. There's some new mechanics and stuff in the game. The way they do new events in the game.
These new raids.
The command center.
Command center's a joke. Yeah.
And now we have a new legendary that, you know...
Is he legendary or is he epic?
I don't even know what the shit he is. He is a tune with a helmet on. But anyways, the way that they used to be was they set him out, and then, you know, like a week later or so, somebody finally makes their way through it. It's quite a struggle, and they get there.
Yeah.
You know, back when they didn't put gear up for sale so much, and you actually had to grind for it, like blitzing and stuff like that, to earn it, and now you can just buy it.
Yeah, you can buy your way through any problem Scopely has to offer right now. And so much to the point where now in the milestone tabs, if you look, there's an offer button, so it will take you right to all the offers you can buy for that event.
Yeah.
To buy milestone points. So you don't even have to leave that screen or go to the store or go to the web store. Right there.
So they make us go to 4 different fucking things in order to get our daily objectives. Now with Command Center, milestones, daily objectives, and the web store. But if you want to buy something, it's just one simple click away.
But who wants to buy it in game when you can go to the web store and buy it and get them the bang for your buck and the strikes?
But I'm just saying.
And all the
They
stuff
make
that's
that
gonna
convenient, but the other stuff,
yeah,
super
strike store
difficult.
exclusive things now. So you
So,
have to
yeah.
spend in order to buy. Yeah.
That's the new thing. Things are going to be strike store exclusive. That's a hard one to say. That's a hard one to say.
And the way I read that blog was they're going to keep all the stores, but just have a uniform currency. But it sounds like you're
Oh yeah, that's
getting rid
another
of
new
all
thing
of the
too.
stores.
Man, you're skipping way
Well,
far ahead. Okay, yeah.
ADHD here.
No, it's okay. So the stores. Let's start on that one. So the talk in the town is that all the stores are going to go away except for a commonplace kind of
seasonal kind of a store.
So you're going to have like a Tuesday market of all your fruits and vegetables all in one place from different local retailers.
Yeah.
And you're going to be able to buy them with different currency or the same currency,
the same currency,
converted.
but you've got to use it each season because it doesn't get converted for the next season.
Super confusing.
But then I'm not sure how that's going to work when you're converting the currency I already have into that special currency. So now I'm screwed because I have a bunch of the currency and I can't use it all within the time frame. So
Yes.
I don't know.
Maybe you just convert it all.
There's a lot of unknowns at this point.
Maybe you just convert it all and pile up whatever that currency is, and who knows? I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense to me. But they're trying to make it in one consolidated store, which, okay, that's fine. But I do like having, and see, the thing is they've gotten things too convoluted. They have, it should have been the supply store was just that, supplies. No character shards or nothing like that. Just supplies, the things you need, gear could be there, and then your Blitz store should be just for that stuff. The war, the ABCs, and that's it. Doesn't even need to be characters there. Maybe characters, but I don't think characters need to be there. Maybe ones that are out of date go into the Blitz store.
All the minion stuff you can't farm anywhere else.
Yeah, and then your arena store, those should be arena used characters.
Yes.
When has Vulture ever been an arena used character? You know what I mean?
Day one, maybe?
This should be like where the Annihilators go.
Yeah.
This should be where, Infinity Watch goes. This should be like stuff like that. Ones that are made for arena go there. That's what it is. An arena currency, and then that should be where your mats are, your building mats, and stuff like that should all be in that store. Your war store. Tunes you use in war.
Yep, war-specific tunes.
Like, I don't understand why not. Like, Weapon X, Liberty could go there when they come out. Just put all the tunes there.
Yeah. Their problem was they released too many tunes too fast and were too slow to put them into farmability.
Yeah.
Because they got to hinder the free-to-play somehow. That they shot themselves in the foot, which at this point they have no feet left. They're working up the legs at this point.
Right, it's ridiculous.
And so they hindered themselves, and now they're like, oh crap, we have all these tunes, what do we do with them? Let's put them in the hardest to farm stores that people have the least amount of currency.
Yeah. Rather than just making common sense, it's a raid character.
And they didn't update them frequently enough to where as soon as a tune was put in there, we were able to max them out.
Yeah.
And then just start hoarding again.
Right.
Same with the stupid spotlight orbs that we very rarely get anymore. But, yeah.
It should be like raid stores, raid characters, and then when the new raid team comes out, wait until the whole team is now out for a month, and then put them in the raid store. It should be just as simple as that. Why it has to be so complicated, I have no idea.
And they made it so easy for newer players to catch up for those kinds of things.
Okay, let's wait on that because we're going to talk about that in here in a second with the other stuff, okay? So, but yeah, so we're just talking about the stores. The stores are, I mean, if they just made it type specific to what it was, and then the ultimates is that overlapping stuff, that should be where the extra shit is that you need.
Yeah. Like a way for you to convert. I've
or
got
a way for you to convert.
50,000
that can be your convert store.
Can I convert them to purple?
Absolutely.
Just like your red stars
your
have
orbs to a
right. Convert.
That is such a good idea.
Why can't the other orbs convert?
That would solve all of that.
Ultimus isn't even in the Ultimus anymore because he's a DD tune now.
I know. Yeah, so why is it even called that? The surplus store.
Yeah.
That should be what it's called. Surplus store. You know what I mean? Like
surplus supplies.
Yeah, I just don't. A lot of that stuff is weird, and ISO should just be ISO. But you should be able to farm. Or you should be able to get not only ISO but ions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It should be both. You should be able to get both. I don't understand why you can get one and not the other. You can't even get purple ions right now.
No.
You can't. You can't buy them. You can't buy them with currency at all in store.
I don't even think you can get the
unless
blue.
you go to the battle world, and then you get no. That's still ISO. That's not even ions there.
Blue ISO and ions you can't even get either.
This you stop mixing shit up. Just keep it simple, stupid. That's what makes the games easy to play. Is when you keep them simple. You start mixing things together, it gets difficult. And they're making things difficult. They did the right thing with the costume store. They're just costumes.
Yeah, and then they stopped putting out costumes because they realized they could sell costumes as new tunes, as a rework, as a new.
Yeah, kind of.
And so now we have no costumes, we have no currency.
Yeah, they're all given to us by stuff when you do milestones.
Different events.
They should be given the milestones, and then like I said, a month later,
they stopped
go to
converting the
costume store.
Costume credits, so you weren't even getting the converted credits when you did the special ones.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the point of that store? You completely forgot and stopped.
If they would have just simplified the shit, I mean, rather than giving it all away and going to one store and doing all this convoluted bullshit, if they just simplified the stores like I said just a second ago, and just simplified them the way that they should be, people would be okay with that.
Yeah.
We would be happy.
Because at this point, you're going to change 7 years into a game the core structure of the game.
Yeah.
Which you've already started. With Overpower and
with these stupid raids.
And changing Wars to 2 and then back to 3, Crucible on weekends. Now it's back to weekdays.
That needs to have a set time frame.
Battle World was supposed to be Tuesday, but now the timer's gone, so we don't even know if we're going to get Battle World this week or not.
It's like I don't understand. The Crucible goes on for a week. So if you do this 32 bracket where it's 5 instead of 3, just add a day before and a day after. It's not difficult. It's not rocket science. Out of 7, you have a day and a before and a day after. That's 5. Now you have 2 days. You have 1 day on either side to prepare.
Normal where you're just doing 3.
Well, I know, but I'm saying when they do those, it's not hard just to add a day before and a day after. I don't know why they have to change everything all up and do everything all weird. It's like the people that are in charge don't think. They think a million steps ahead, but they don't think about the here and now. They skip past that.
They skip the first step and tumble down to the bottom and go like, okay, here, this is where we wanted to be anyway.
Yeah, this is where we wanted to be. Yeah, this is a good spot right here.
Who cares what happened between A and Z? We got to Z.
Yeah. Yeah. So now let's talk about the raids, since we brought that up. So the raids, and this is where we're talking about the people catch up or level up too fast. You have people running out of mats because realistically in the game, the number of mats that you make in a week is for, let's say level 90, let's say level 70 to 95. It is the number of mats you get are to take 5 tunes per week up 5 levels. That's the number of mats you get in a week. As a normal, going to free to play, play your shit every day type player. 5 tunes per week, 5 levels. That's it. So when they have these newer players, it seems like, oh yeah, I'm flying up with my power level. I'm going to go from 0 to 52 on 20 of my tunes. Oh, I'm fine. Well, you're fine until you start going to 60.
Yeah.
And now all that stuff from before is gone.
And they've increased the cost so much that even going from 100 to 105 is almost doubled what it was to go from like 90 to 100.
Yeah, I don't know if the mats doubled, but I know the gold definitely has.
Like, it's just, they haven't increased that. Like, you increase the cost of all these things, but the influx, you forget you've taken training mats away from so many sources.
So many things.
That we're not getting them anywhere.
Because you were saying, too, it's not only that, it's the blue ISO, it's the Armory 16s and 15s.
Yeah, the Armory orbs. I opened them all a week or 2 ago.
Right.
And I've gotten 0.
So these are all
because
things
we're not getting them anymore.
That we used to get in raids, in the spotlight, and in the normal.
Yeah, you get them from the nodes now. Whoop-de-frickin-do.
So if you don't have the specialized tunes to do the max difficulty on these nodes, you're not getting the same resources as you were even coming close to getting before.
No. And the level 5 ion orbs. I haven't opened a blue ISO orb 6 months? Minimum? 6 to 9 months? I don't even know when the last time I opened those are. Yeah. And I've got 1.
Yeah.
And then I've got only 1,000 of the level 4 ions.
And we had somebody ask today, they said, where do you get the purple ions, purple ISO orbs? And I'm like, well, you get them a lot of places. And I go look around in the game, it's all events.
Yep. Leaderboards.
It's all events or payouts at the end of seasons. There's nowhere you can just farm them. It's all about how much you spend or how much you play or how much your Alliance plays or how much this plays. Or it's not just, I'm just going to grind it every day. There's nowhere you can just do that.
There's nowhere you can just really grind anything of meaning in this game anymore.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
Like, raids are absolutely worthless and pointless right now unless you can do difficulty 5.
Well, because they also put in the stupid command center, we're going to go back to that. I know, sorry, going back. But the command center says 6 attacks with, it's not 6 skill characters, the vigilante. It's not 6 vigilante characters that you use. Oh, no. It's use vigilante in 6 different attacks. You can use 1 or 5. It doesn't matter. You're getting 1 point for it.
Yep. You have to use them 6 times in a week.
No, 6 times in a day.
No, that's weekly.
No, it's per day. Every day that one refreshes.
Weekly. That one's weekly.
No, I'm telling you, it's every day. Every day that one refreshes.
Spend vigilante energy, which is daily. That one I thought was weekly.
Correct. That one's daily. The spend vigilante day, rate energy.
I swore the 6 attacks was weekly.
Even if it's weekly. That's 6 basically battles that you have to just give up.
They're not even out free to play yet. You haven't been able to unlock
because you can't add it to Spice Hawk and do even level 4.
No, you have to do level 1 if you only have 1 of them.
And you can't do the non-skill levels. You have to do just the skill ones if you do 1. So that means on bio and skill, you do a level 0, and you add them all there.
Yeah.
And then you do those. That's the way to do it.
Down there, you get no rewards.
So you get no rewards. Even 1, you get no rewards.
But
2, you get no rewards.
Do the 5,
3, you barely get rewards.
Which our maxed out Orcusans and Night Stalkers can't do level 5. You gotta play that bullshit.
They can.
No thanks. I'm not playing it.
No, I can sim them.
You get 4.5 times the amount you do for normal people who could do 3.
Right.
You get that much more rewards when those people who can do it at 5 don't need those fucking rewards.
It's that much rich get richer, poor get poorer.
And it's even more so now with everything that they've got going on bashing free-to-play. You've put all these mechanics in the game for free-to-play and new accounts to race to 105, but then you just shot yourself in the foot with everything you've been doing with Overpowered, because now you're completely at a loss. You can't compete in Crucible. I lost to a motherfucker who didn't even attack.
Yeah, I know, I saw that.
Because he decided to attack on the last day, because his opponents never attacked, and he had 190 million TCP, which is 50 million bigger than me. He hit me with all overpowered 11s, 10s and 11s on all my Crucible teams. Perfect efficiency, and squeaked by the wind. He had 49k points. I had 150k points. Or 148, whatever. And I lose to that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's a bigger TCP, and his opponents didn't attack.
Crucible's a joke. It's horrible. The fact that it has a bracket system, the bracket system I get for who you're going to play next, but as far as the points, it should just be overall. Should just be overall.
Yeah. And from the last tournament, which was the 32 tournament, that I did okay. Well, no, I didn't do okay in that one. That one I got obliterated in. I fell 5,000 places. I was in the top 12,000, and now I'm like down to 16.
Yeah.
Top 1,200, 12,000.
Right. I mean, legit, honestly, in Crucible, you should be able to lose every match and still win overall. I personally believe, because if you lose every match, if 50, 200 to they out efficiency'd you, but you lose because of the efficiency, but at the end your efficiency is, or your points are more than everybody else because you did every battle the same. You know what I mean? You could put hand on defense, let them out efficiency you, right, in each round, but overall when they go to fight somebody else and they go against Odin with other people and they get slowed down, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you were the same because you left everything on offense to be able to attack, and you get more points, you should win that. I don't have a problem with that happening at all. I have a problem with the opposite happening. You're doing 0 attacks. I've seen somebody with 0 points before win number 1.
I had 2 people with 0 points beat me in the 32 tournament.
Yeah.
Because their opponents didn't
find the higher TCP.
And, yep.
I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the other. If the person was consistent every time getting 50s, and then a couple of times
you should have to at least
their opponents got 40s, and you win, I think that's awesome. Good job. You had 150K points at the end of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But somebody has 0 winning is ridiculous.
He had 8,040 something or whatever was his score when he went to fight me.
Yeah, and he ended up with
once in the second round.
49 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just stupid. I think the whole Crucible system.
Yeah. And he had all 11, so you can't beat an 11, even if you're using the proper counter.
Yeah.
A G11 Odin, one swipe.
And that goes back to the overpower, but let's not get there because we're going back to raids. Raids. So, chaotic. They give you your own lane. You have full 15 nodes, and they give you 8 raid energy.
Yeah.
And they give you 2 sections which are unbeatable with the current raid teams.
Yeah.
So that means
drop the difficulty.
So that means you have That means you have to. If you're doing difficulty 5, I'm saying it's impossible to beat with the current teams. You have to burn it and then beat it.
Yeah.
And on the regular nodes, you have to burn and beat sometimes too, if you don't have the high enough power enough. So you have to burn the boss and beat it. You have to burn the other ones possibly. So between those 3 nodes, that's a minimum of 4 attacks and a maximum of 6. And that happens twice. So you're saying 8 to 12 attacks in just those 6 nodes. And you got 8 rain energy to do it. But yet in Spotlight, you have 6 lanes for 8 people, and you have 80 energy.
Yep.
Which everybody's clamoring to not beat the boss and not beat nodes so other people can get it shot.
But that one they've now stealthed to where...
Yeah, node 2.
Old Man Logan and Extreme don't work anymore.
Yeah, node 2 you're going to get beat unless you use Orcus, pretty much is how it comes down to.
Like, hello? What are you doing here?
Yeah, if you're simming node 2, just use Orcus. That's the way to go, otherwise you're going to get beat.
It's like they put in this raid slider so that, as they quoted, lower TCP players can play with their higher whaley friends in the same alliance and not feel like they're holding them back. Well, I'm sorry, but now with Overpowered, they can't compete in war.
Yeah.
They can't stay up there in Arena.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to compete in Crucible.
Perfect segue. So that's what the raids were for. Now Overpowered does a beautiful job. Way to go. Look at you.
So it's like, what is the point of doing these things to keep alliances together when you just tore so many apart? Every post on Reddit, so many people are quitting.
And they're trying to show how little they care about war. They really are, because they tried to reduce it to 8 teams.
Yeah.
They tried to reduce it to 2 days a week, which actually 2 days a week was fine, as long as it was Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't want it Monday and Wednesday and then a whole 5 days off. Just give me Tuesday and Thursday. Or not Tuesday and Thursday. Give me Monday and Thursday.
Yeah.
So you have the 3 days and the 4 days.
Build your currency.
Yeah, I thought that was perfect. But Monday and Thursday, I think it'd be good. And then you can change it up. So like it's what is that? Monday, and then Monday night, and then Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday night or Tuesday afternoon. I think is the way it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be Tuesday and Friday, or Monday and Thursday. I think that's fine. That's perfect. I think that'd be perfect. But 5 days off, 2 days on is crazy.
Nope. And then they moved the teams, made it to where you have 10. Now you get your full 10 attacks, and you can buy the 4. They did all these things because, assumingly, what we've heard through the grapevine is Wells and Krakens were complaining that it was too competitive, it's too cookie cutter. We're seeing the same teams. We're seeing this. We're seeing so they tried to please them to make them happy. Well, now you get overpowered.
Yeah.
And now you just go in and you're paired against lower alliances and you get decimated. We were just paired against the higher alliance. Our counters didn't work because we had to punch up too much. Some of them did. Some of them didn't.
No.
But they were just walking over 90% of our defense.
It was the other thing. Our counters worked. We didn't realize what counter to use until too late in the war, and by then we were behind by too many defensive victories. And they were just able to overpower our teams on defense because we aren't built on defense the way that other teams are.
Yeah.
Because we're not whaleys. So we had let's say our defense averaged 3, their defense averaged 5. That's a huge difference overall.
Mm-hmm.
And like say like our offense averages 6, their offense averaged 9.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And especially when it's a 50% boost. No, if it was a 25,
yeah,
like a little bit. Why? You already have the advantage from spending. And all the Krakens that are for overpowered say, well, we spend, we deserve an advantage, we deserve an instant win.
Which I get about you spend, you deserve an advantage.
Yes,
I do understand that.
Because you get the tunes to 7/7.
You get the
diamonds.
faster.
You get all that. There's your advantage.
Yeah.
It takes me months to get them maxed out.
Yep.
To get to your level. So you get 3 to 4 months of having fun with your maxed out team. But I'm sorry that my brain is better than yours and your fucking wallet, and I can beat you with my skill.
Right.
And that is what Overpowered has obliterated.
Right.
Is my ability to use my skill to beat you.
And it's made it that way in Crucible, because like as you were talking, if they have all your 20 characters on defense, you're not getting through it, so they can sit back and just take out a couple teams, and they get the win. Or not even attack at all, because they know you're not getting through their shit, and then they get a win because they have higher
200
TCP.
million TCP, and so they're like, uh-huh.
So it's just like, in both ways, it makes it an unfair advantage, which is the issue.
Yeah.
I'm fine, like you said, with the events. They bug me having these 7-star events, 7, 6, 5 to do your. They bug me.
To get any points.
But when they leave them for 30 days, and you can actually get to that 5 and 6, maybe the 7 on certain characters, Peggy.
Yeah.
Then those are fine. I get those because it gives the people that spend an advantage. They get those points quicker, or they get them and we don't. I understand that, and there's some people that want to buy characters, and it makes sense to me that they have those.
I don't understand the point. Okay, now you've got every tune in the game maxed out. Why are you going through these milestones? You don't need the gear in it.
Right.
You don't need the diamonds because you already got them.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
Times,
they're doing these things hand over fist. If they just did the events and they gave them those benefits, that's them getting a bug. They have those. They have the resources before we do. They get to the in-game content before they do.
Every tune in the game gets 3 diamonds the day it's released, pretty much.
Right. Which, fine. I mean, if you want to do that and you want to get those extra event points, that works for me. But to make that something that happens every day to affect us, the normal player, that's where the issue comes up. Because the normal player is now having to every day struggle bus their way through either an arena, Crucible, which is trash, or, you know what I mean? Because we're seeing these Gear 20 maxed out tunes, characters, teams, and we just can't get through it with this overpowered.
Nope. And then they're going to put it on node, so you're going to be trying to pass a campaign node with your team that's maybe 8s or 9s, and you're going against 10s and 11s.
Which, okay, now, I'm going to be realistic with that. And so this is the thing that's dirty with Scopely, and well, not necessarily Scopely. Whoever does the events, I don't want to blame everything on Scopely, because some of the shit they just don't even know. But whoever does these events, that's where the problem comes into, is that they set up these, let's say the tower, right? So the tower we just did was doable to get to 60, right? I got to 60.
It's the first one I've ever done.
I've got it without issue. I was fine. I got to multiple times so far do the 60 at the end, do about 6 times per, the 60 with different teams. It feels good. So now taking that and being like, all right, you got to 60. Here's a slider for difficulty 1 up, right?
Yeah.
Since you have everything maxed and you're one of these whaley whales, here you go. Here's one that's 1 up. And then if you happen to get through that 60, well, here's a difficulty 2. And that's fine if they did something that way with, just say they duplicate the rewards. Just duplicate the rewards, whatever they are. Just get them once more. That's it. If they did that, that's fine. But the problem is the Scopely or whoever it is that does this, they want to make that difficulty 1.5. That's the goal now for everybody. And if you don't get there, then you don't get your shit.
Yep.
And that's the problem. If they just made it that the first one, if you got through it, you got all the stuff, cool. That's awesome. Yep. But they won't. They'll make it so that difficulty 1 halfway through, or maybe even getting to difficulty 2 on that is where you have to get in order to get anything.
Yep. Which is what they did with the new Command Center event for Shadow King.
Yeah.
80,000
points.
Which is 20,000 ISO energy to spend in 13 days, which is a little over 1,300 a day.
Yeah.
to get Shadow King's passive that you
I thought you
need
said it was
in war.
5,000 a day.
No.
It's still crazy.
It's an absurd amount per day.
I saved up
people who are gonna
8,000, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I saved up 8,000
There's no
ISO.
point. If you can't do it, there's no point.
There's no point in doing it. So I spent all my blue ISO nodes today, and I looked at it, and I'm at 15K out of the 80.
Yeah, and I'm at 34, and I cored, ISO refreshed to the 100 refresh. Because I was maxed out on...
You're at 3,400, right?
Yeah, 3,400.
Yeah, I'm at 15,000.
No, so you're way...
Yeah. And like I said, I spent 4,800 ISO.
Yeah.
That's a lot, and that's half of what I had saved.
But the problem is the people who are going to easily make that and be like, okay, this is worth it, already have the passive. Already have all those tunes maxed out. Shit. They don't need any of the stuff that's in there.
Nothing.
Why did you make it so fucking difficult? Because they want you to spend $35 to just buy the passive instead of wasting the time and energy to play the game.
But if you look at it that way, that's the money versus time. But the problem is the time is not possible.
No.
Because it's unimaginable amount.
It's very
and they want to
unattainable.
They want to go against hoarding, but then they force you to hoard. And even I hoarded 8,000, I might not even make it. So that makes it unattainable. So if it's unattainable, or you buy it, that's not fair. That just makes you have to buy it. If it's grindable or buy it, I get it.
No, if it was campaign energy and ISO energy.
Well, if it was ISO energy but lowered it to 800 a day. If you needed 800 a day to get to it at the end of 13 days.
50K.
That's
50,000 points.
Yeah, 50,000 would be probably doable. Yeah. Yeah.
But the problem is these whales and krakens, the 35 motherfuckers who got...
Well, they already have 140K ISO saved up because they don't need to use it.
But they got Professor X. One guy got Professor X within 90 minutes. It was less than 90 minutes the thing was done, and he had passed it. There's now 35 in 5 hours. At time of this recording, there's 35 people who have passed it.
Nuts.
To get Professor X. Which on average...
Which we've been waiting a year and a half for.
$5,000.
Yeah. Which we've been waiting more than a year and a half since they announced. And the dude got him in 90 minutes.
That's going to take us over 90 days. And what's the point? Now you've got him, you're maxed out.
For what?
You've got all this random
G20. So you can max out
G20s.
your cores again at #1 in the arena and just sit there with nobody and say, hey.
Like, it can't be fun.
I don't
sitting
get
there all day
it.
in arena.
It probably is fun because they're probably one of those however you say that word.
Megalomaniacs?
Yeah, they're just sitting there at the top, just, you fucking
Scrooge McDucks? Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like...
And they're the ones that like this overpower because they can go in with Crucible with one tune if they were allowed to, and just, whoop, alright, done. Whoop, alright, done.
Smack you peasants into tomorrow. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
But it's just like, and that's what makes me think they're either A, gonna buff Professor X to make it impossible for others to pass, or B...
that's what somebody put, overpowered coming to Professor X nodes.
And G20, they're not gonna release that free-to-play outside of this store anytime soon.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do max difficulty on these raids.
Yeah. Then
you need G20 tunes to do these raids at max difficulty.
And you're going to have people that wanted to catch on the bandwagon. Because they want to go to the teams that are doing the Omega or whatever it is. 5, right? That are doing that as a start off. They're not going to be able to do any nodes. But they want the other people to carry them. So they can get some resources without doing anything. And then they don't have to build the raid teams. They don't have to build a specific team to get Professor X.
Yeah, but now you're building for that. Okay. But what can you do in war?
Nothing. Because they don't care about war. Because it's all cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Because that's what they've made it, because they've released war teams rather than just releasing synergetic teams that are good in every mode. They release raid specific and war specific and crucible specific and DD specific, remember that? And arena specific tunes. Take all those stupid tags away. That's the problem with it. All these fucking tags that they have on everybody being able to do. Just make it about synergy. Remember when, like, what was it, the best Kree team?
Yeah.
You know, you had Groot and Thanos and Star-Lord and Minerva. Like,
yeah, there is none of that. But
there's none of that anymore.
Team-specific teams. So, first of all, I have my Starjammers. Not built because they're trash.
Don't you love Immortal X-Men? That's your favorite team, right?
They're even worse. I went against an Infinity Watch on a punch across and almost lost because I couldn't do enough damage to them to take them out, and I almost timed out before I finally beat them.
Yeah.
That is a non-Crucible team, and Starjammers is supposed to be like OP in Crucible, right?
Oh, no, but they are. Didn't you see the screenshot?
If you max them out.
He had them maxed out. He went against an Odin team and mollywopped them. Odin Illuminati and mollywopped
Because we're
them.
going back to the day where stars matter.
Yeah.
Because Krakens were bitching.
But it's not stars, so we're okay. Can you imagine if they add stars, add an overpowered to that?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
There'd be no way to
once
reach
we start
them.
to catch up in 6 months to a year, they're going to be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
we're advantage.
They can't. That just ruins everything. Because
there'll
at
be
least
purple
stars
stars.
not being something is something. I mean, it's absolutely it's a damage percentile that goes into the damage percentile. And I bet what it is, if you have more stars on something and red stars and diamonds, I'm sure that calculation goes in first before the 50%, which makes the punch up even bigger. Because if you did the 50% before that, then it would be less. You know what I mean? But if you do the 50%, like if it was 50% of your base stats, and then you did the stuff on top of that, it'd be way less than if you did it the other way. And then it's 50% of the total, the end total. Then you're way more. So I'm sure it does it the other way.
Yeah.
And that just makes it so that they have an advantage by having 7 stars, but it's not an outright advantage. And I'll tell you what, I'm still punching up 3-4 million, 40, 70. Today I did 100% punch up on teams in war. I do it, and it comes down to skill, and it comes down to knowing what team to use in what situation. And there's a lot of players that don't want to have to do all that.
Because they see that overpowered 11, like, oh, well, that's not going to work. I give up.
Right, but they don't want to have to take all the extra time and energy, and I got to learn this counter for this team, but this one for this team, and if they change out this tune, then I got to use this one instead of that one, and it's just like, and it's so much, which is the fun of the game for me, but it's frustrating for some people, especially for whales that just want to pocket it.
Well,
They just want to be like, I'm going to throw $20 down on the table and I win.
Yeah.
But
we
in
had
their
just
case,
figured out what the counters were for the war season. We had just gotten our charts ready. Oh, overpowered. Now things don't work, or you need to do it differently.
Well,
or
and that's why I
punch
simplified that these ones still work, whereas other ones don't. Things that are based on speed and abilities are still going to work, because focus goes one way, not the other. But things that are based on your size and being able to damage somebody like below 50% in order to get a trigger, that shit's hard to do. That shit's hard to do. That's why symbiotes being on offense is way difficult right now. Because you're not going to be able to get somebody below a threshold in order to do certain things.
Yeah, to trigger the speed up.
Yeah, and that's why like Thanos on defense is a little worse, because he's not going to drop unless he's smaller. And then he's going to drop faster. And when he drops faster and he lets it go before you're ready, like, he can take out your whole team. Which he did for me the other day. There's a big old Thanos. I thought I was going to be fine. But the bleeds put him down super fast, and he took out my team before I had a chance to respond. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah. I didn't see that one coming. So it does happen, but, yeah, it's so hard to guess sometimes.
And the problem with the overpowered system is they're radio silence. Even in their live stream, we got to collect data. What data? You're seeing, okay, overpowered beat these people, and these people couldn't use overpowered and couldn't beat them. So what data are you getting? Well, look at Reddit. Every Reddit post, nobody likes it except for a couple of wallet warriors.
Yeah. I don't watch videos on really anybody anymore at all, because they're all just blowing smoke up your ass. But I did happen to watch the mobile video the other day, and when he made the point of, what if this is what they want?
Yeah.
With overpowered. What if they want those who are spending money getting an advantage? What if that's what they want? Yep. And if that's the end data that they wanted to do, then they're getting what they want, and they're making those people happy.
The data shows whatever they want the data to show.
Oh, you can misscrew it anyway. Is that the right word?
Conscrew it?
Screw it either way. I don't know. Some kind of screw it up. I mean, they're going to do to make it the way that they want it to be. It's like
they're kings of the screw up at this point.
Yeah, that's what point, Jeff. But they're gonna do it whatever they want.
Just like the misleading offers that get a daily dose of G20. So everybody hopped on that bugger.
$15 wasn't bad.
My bad. It's every other day you get a G20 orb.
Yeah. And now the people that were smart enough to look into it and be like, that's not a G20 every day,
Yep,
and didn't buy it, now guess what? You're fucked because you didn't buy it because now they're giving the 20s every day.
Yep, they're
when it was really worth it.
They're not giving them the amount listed that it should be. They're giving them one.
It's still, it's not, because as somebody that looked at it and realized that and didn't buy it because of that, now I'm fucked over because I don't get the extra resources for only $15.
And all those people who are now disputing the charges because it was a scam, because it was a bait
they're going to get locked out.
They're now going to be banned from, and maybe even their account. Who knows? They won't be able to purchase anymore.
Yeah, Exola will say, oh, you can't do that. We're going to block you out of being able to purchase anything. Guess what's released in 2 days? Another one that actually works.
Yeah.
But it'll be twice the price. It'll be $29.99 instead of $14.99.
Yeah, because they're going to look to see how many people jumped on it, thinking of what it was.
Like, oh, we can up that price a little bit.
Yeah, how many people jumped on it? We're going to get more. Because that's all the game is to these people. We are dollar signs, and that is all they care about. Which
I wish they stopped. I understand it, and we're still playing, so it makes them still be able to do this thing. But we're playing because we like the game. We're not playing because we want to spend money. We're not playing because we want to see these guys, you know, at the top of this thing. It used to be, back in the day, you cheered on the person going for number 1. I think that kind of changed with Visara, honestly. But that year that he was the first one to finish, I think that's when it changed.
Yeah, because it felt more like he was flaunting it.
He was buying his way there.
Then he was
People were even pitching in to help buy things for him. And I think that was the turning point of it. Because before it was like, yeah, go get that. We know you've worked so hard to get there. You know, you've used all these resources. You know, you've resource managed wisely. You're using the right tunes. You
buy your way to it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, great. I mean, they still spent money, but it wasn't in the amount of money that these guys were spending. Not even close. You know, and it was like you cheered them on, and now it's like, really? You spend that much?
Yeah. I know, it's Silver Sable's in the game, and I took her to, what have I got her? 5 now? 6? But I G20'd her, maxed her out because I had been hoarding all my G20 and gear. Not that I'm getting any, but I had 1 orb after all these weeks of the stupid fucking raid. But it's just, like, that wasn't even enjoyable. I'm like, okay, well, that was pointless. What the hell did I have? I had 40,000 cores saved ready for her to go.
Yeah.
I'm back up to, like, 26 now, but I only went down to, like, 24. I think I did 2 10 spins and then 3 more just to get her to the 5 or 6. I think I got her to 6. I don't know.
I think you got it 5.
5?
If I remember right. I think you got 5.
But it was just like, that
I told you to do
enjoyable.
10 more and then you get 120, and you ended up getting, I think, 90 something, and it got you within. And you just did a couple more to get above the 5-star.
Yeah. But it's just like, that wasn't even fun. I'm like, okay, well, that was kind of a waste. What was the point?
You know, it was funner to win a giveaway from Rem and unlock anti-venom back in the day than it is to...
And Emma. Yeah, because I won an Emma one. And then that was
That's
when
who it was Emma.
Yeah, and when Maddie came out, I cored her and took that Marauders team to 7-7.
And you got something out of it.
And put it in war, and I obliterated, got so many defensive wins. I had, what, 23 at one point?
Yeah, Vandy's team couldn't even get through us because of you. You know, and we ended up winning a war at the last second. And we didn't full clear them out of respect. You know, because it was like, okay, we've done enough. Yeah. You guys bowed to us.
That was fun. This is now like, yes, she does damage. Yes, she does things.
It's a raid team.
I'm going to need her for Professor X. Okay, but it's just like...
It's a raid team that you hit sim on. You don't even play it anymore.
No. And here I am in the game. She actually looks like me back in my prime. Minus the silver hair. I'm almost going there full silver, but... Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's not fun and enjoyable. But it's just I'll get on and click buttons.
Yeah, and the fun that I get out of it is helping somebody to realize their own potential in doing things. Yeah. And like, that worked, thanks so much. Like, that part is cool. Like, I enjoy that aspect of the game. I don't mind making mistakes on my own to help other people to make, you know, be successful and stuff. That part of it's fun for me. That's what I get enjoyment out of the game with. And learning those new things. And once I learn and I have that aha moment, it's like, oh, this is cool. I can share with other people. You know, there's a lot of counters that I found just by throwing shit in there at the last second and seeing how it works. And I'm like, oh, these are leftover characters I don't use that actually work as a war team. Mm-hmm. This is cool. You know, let's use this for this counter so we don't have to worry about using it for the other ones. And then you build off of that. And it's kind of fun when things like that happen, but now it's like the damage is so much that you can't just throw a tune in and hope that their kit gets you by, because if that damage happens, and it's not based on speed, if it's based on damage...
Especially with some of the older tunes, the tunes that are even 6 months old can't compete with a 50% boost to damage.
Yeah, Emma gets tickled and she's gone.
Yeah, there's just like... If you were going to put Overpowered in, you needed to give a flat across the board buff to anybody a year old or older that gave us like a 25 to 50% stat boost across the board.
Right.
You needed to do something to buff the older tunes to accommodate. And they're not thinking about that. They don't realize that one tune has 1 million health because they're 6 months old.
And the new ones have 10 million.
And new ones have 10 million, plus they do 1 million damage on their basic.
Yeah.
So you're getting
one shot opening the match. 26k.
Yeah. Like, hello.
And we're not talking about minions either.
No.
We're not talking about minions. If we're talking about minions, that'd be one thing. We're talking about like Astonishing X-Men and regular symbiotes and, you know, like teams that were used not too long ago, but a while ago.
Yeah, even Hive Mind.
Young Avengers, Heroes for Hire, Infestation. You know, those teams that are defensive teams. Nowhere's another one. Like, creeps up every once in a while, but man, it kind of tickles some teams.
Yeah, Weapon X.
Weapon X is getting there now.
They're getting to the point where they're laughable. And that's a legendary team, which, speaking of legendary, the next team up that
you
should
really
be announced...
doing a good job with these segues, by the way.
I'm working on it. Crochet helps, you know, transferring in colors.
That's true.
But the next team that should be announced this week should be Thunderbolts, because we voted on them over 5 months ago, so we know it's Hyperion and Songbird.
The next team to come out, you mean, after Hitmonkey? After
Hitmonkey, the next team. So next month's team, which would be April-May's team, should be
April. Hitmonkey comes out in what, 5 days probably?
So then, whatever, the next team that's coming out.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Whenever they decide to do it. They're doing like 2 teams in a month. Yeah. And then reworks to Ghost and Taskmaster. But during that live stream, Pathfinder said they're going to be announcing a legendary this week. So it's got to be a legendary for that team.
Yeah, it can be 3 months from now. Really can.
It could be, but we still don't know the 5th for that team.
You don't. Which
it would just be convenient for a legendary event announcement coming up.
But I'm kind of.
Or is it going to be a legendary for Hellfire Club? Because that's the other one we voted on.
If you remember, they announced and put out, I think it was Old Man Logan within a month of when they announced them.
Yeah.
It was a rush. Was it him or was it Captain Britain? It was a rush. Like, you rushed to get
one of them. I thought it was.
Yeah. It was like a month after, so maybe that whole Panic Farm thing.
But just because the rest of the 4-piece team's going to be out, the legendary could be April's event, because they said the next legendaries that are needed for Annihilus or whatever, it's Annihilus, are going to be obtainable free. So the next one, like Lithuania, could be
Lithium.
The one for Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolts isn't supposed to be a raid team.
Yeah, we don't know what Thunderbolts is supposed to be yet. It's supposed to be, I think, a war team, but we just had Liberty.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's not going to be Crucible because we got Starjammers.
Unless it's supposed to be Arena and it counters Professor X. I don't need Professor X. I got...
Right? We got his counter already. But...
Just fuck the whales. That would be too perfect, though, if that actually was what it was.
Plus, we voted on Victoria Hand.
Yeah.
Coming to the game somehow.
Right, which makes sense for Thunderbolts, which
Club
is weird.
With Azazel.
Yeah. Yeah, Hellfire Club. Which hopefully gets a Emma and a Sinister rework.
And yet all these people are panicking about a new Bio Raid team that's coming out next month. Like,
yeah, I don't stop thinking about Bio Raid.
We're 5 months out of the votes that they still haven't announced the teams yet. How are they going to throw in a raid team?
The Bio Raid team.
We just got a skill raid team. They're usually a couple of months in between them.
Like, chill.
Like,
people are so non-chill, man. It's like, come on.
Oh, but a data mine said, yeah, you know what? I can show you a data mine too that says to go fuck yourself. Like,
You know how long friggin' Medusa was in the data mines for this game before she came to the game? She was in the original JSON files.
Yeah.
The original JSON files. It took 6 years for her to come to the game.
I believe the dog is in there too.
Cosmo?
No.
Oh, Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Yeah, Lockjaw.
He was supposed to like appear with what's her bucket or some crystal or something.
Crystal. Yeah, he does. Lockjaw does.
Yeah, but.
Yeah, it's so funny. Just people crack me up sometimes. Like, no.
I believe it when I see it. And then, yeah,
why are you going to push forward and try to figure out the next new thing? Just enjoy what you got in front of you.
No, need now. We're at instant gratification.
You're not going to have the resources to build that thing if you're not thinking, like, come on
You're
now.
really not. But we're instant gratification. You can sit on your phone and order food. It'll come right to your door within an hour.
Yeah.
20 minutes. Some places.
I remember the days you had to walk to the store
delivery.
for your parents in the rain and buy cigarettes for them.
Right?
With a note that they could buy cigarettes for you.
Yeah, it's just.
And we've gone to, you just order them to your door.
But the problem is because these whales and krakens spend and they're, okay, now what? Now I'm bored. What's coming next? Like, dude, maybe if you slowed your roll a little, you wouldn't get bored.
Yeah. Yeah, sit back and enjoy a little bit.
Like, hello?
Close the pocketbook for a few.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy everything. I'm cool with you spending because it does help the rest of us that don't.
Yeah, and it keeps the game going. I get that.
Yeah, it pushes
but
the game forward.
But you need to spend $100,000 a month?
Yeah.
On a game?
Yeah.
Do you know what that $100,000 a month could do in a poor community?
Right.
And for people who are truly struggling, families who work 2 jobs
and if you do both, God bless you. If you put equal into your surrounding community as you do into your own hobby, God bless you. That's awesome. Way to go. I know that's not the kind of people we're talking about. We're talking about the selfish ass motherfuckers that
they
are
just want to see their names in
just
lights. They just want to be number one.
Yeah.
Like, haha, I'm top dog.
Yeah. Yeah, not the people that are doing this as a hobby that enjoy the game, just want to have fun.
Right? And most
It's
likely,
your hobby, that's cool.
Most people don't know, but we have an asshole that likes to circle the block and break into cars. He's hit us, 3 times now?
Yeah, twice, at least.
And that mofo probably has more money and more, government assistance than we do. He could probably afford to go out and buy the basketballs he stole from the low-income school that you coach.
Probably. For free.
Yeah, you're coaching these kids for free.
I had bought that shit on my own. And
$600 worth of basketballs.
Yeah.
Plus the duffel bag, plus the first aid
and
kit, knee braces, everything we could need that these kids might need.
Yep.
We take water bottles to the games because we don't know who
They
their
didn't take
parents...
the water bottles, so that was too trash.
No, well, yeah. Heaven forbid.
These
Well, I think they had them in
water
the
bottles?
house.
No, they were in the back.
Were they in the back?
These are squeezy water bottles?
Yeah,
they
and
didn't
then
have
to take
like
a
metal.
Bluetooth adapter that adapted to the car to make the phone work in the car. Like, dude, it's a $20 adapter you could buy off Amazon.
Yeah.
But leave the $20 in change.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought that was funny.
I mean, yeah, it was disguised as gum, but I mean, it was in a gum container.
Yeah.
He took my box of Pepto-Bismol, which was empty, but still the box was there in the door.
He didn't take my book of stamps in the back seat either. That was hella funny. That was like $40 in stamps
And
that he
then
didn't take.
The last time he did, it was your work bag with all your work stuff in it and all your work
Yeah.
snacks.
Your
that
work
was
snacks.
2
Luckily,
months
no
old
work
that I
equipment.
just bought you for Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
sad.
it's like, those are the people that they have, but they gotta have more.
Yeah. The crooks.
Like, oh, well, he has it. I want it. I don't want to go spend my money on it. I'm just going to take theirs.
But those are the same ones in the game that try to do those offers where they click it really fast to get multiple times.
The ones who did the Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that bullshit. Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah, and, yeah. It's just, like, those are the people that need to reevaluate their lives.
Or buy accounts.
You know, yeah.
Buy accounts, sell accounts, build
So
up
they don't
accounts
have to
just
work
sell.
it? Yeah.
There's people that actually make money off of selling accounts. It's crazy. We had one in our alliance at one point in time, and I was like, "You do what?" I'm like, "Okay, you gotta go."
I'm not going to
Bye. Kick. I ain't dealing with that. No.
Which is funny. It's against terms of service, but they allow envoys and everybody else to do it.
Yeah, buy.
They allowed an envoy to buy an account, come back to the game, buy his way to the top, and become an envoy.
Yeah.
What message does that send to this community?
No, they don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. That's pretty much what it sends.
It's like anybody who legit tries to cover this game gets shit on, gets pushed to a side, gets shit talked about.
Yeah.
Because you're taking away my views.
Yeah, heaven forbid.
I deserve to make more money than you.
Heaven forbid they have an envoy that's been married for 30 years, has a decent job, has a good family, enjoys helping other people.
As a stepping stone to buy.
Runs multiple alliances and a Discord and tries to help people out with that. Gives his money back to the community.
In the live stream, actually helping people. Here's my Discord. Do you want me to help you walk you through how to?
Well, I felt bad because people were needing help with stuff. They didn't know how to like get the Twitch drops to go, and it's like, here, I'll help you out. Message me, and I was trying to help people out. Like, I don't know, that's who I am. But they don't want that. They want these money hungry. You're making 15 videos a month.
Content that way the new players will spend to get to that end game to have what you have.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have to.
But that's not the average player's experience, and you're hemorrhaging players at this point.
Yeah.
The fact that I finished in that Zombie Scarlet Witch event in the top 4,000, I was 3,484, I want to say. And yeah, I spent 10K, 15K cores.
Right, for Silver
Sable. But that was it. Like, I didn't buy offers, I didn't buy nothing. And I finished in the top 4,000 to get a 1 diamond Scarlet Witch. I didn't make it to her 7 red, so I'll have to buy her there in the dark promos.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. I got 24K, but now that we're not getting them as frequently, that's a whole other ball of wax. But me, somebody who does it, but yet I didn't finish high enough to get the Diamond Thanos skin. It was an arbitrary number. You did, and you were barely above me.
Because I wanted to beat Illuminati. Fuck that team. That was my whole goal. I seen Illuminati and Captain Whalebait. I'm going at him. You know what I wanted to do with him? Face down, ass up. That's the way we like to fuck Whalebait.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But it's like, there's something wrong with the game when I'm that high up in some of these events. Even in Tower, I'm still in the top 10K. Yeah. Which is going to get me nothing because I've already got diamonds on those two.
Oh, yeah, it's all worthless stuff.
I mean, the Armory 19s, yeah, that would be kind of nice.
I'm just kind of happy I can do it. That's what I'm cool with. I'm like, wow, this is neat. I can actually do this and repeat the last node. Like, this is
I pass it. I have 2 teams that can sim it.
Like, I'm there.
Too scared to try.
I've made it to the promised land.
But now the next time it'll be that much further.
And like I said, if they want to do a difficulty slider and make a duration 2, 3, you know, and make it so it's more difficult as you go through, like, that'd be cool to do, to challenge people. But the milestones better be for that first one, and in there, and the rest of it just duplicates the other milestones.
Not like that, what was it, Temporal Cataclysm that we just had that nobody could fucking do?
Oh my god.
That we had a global milestone of 100 million points that they then went, oops, and had to tone down to 30 million?
Yeah, all of a sudden...
we barely did that.
Well, no. It was like we were down by it was like 10 million to go, like with a day. And we hadn't even got to 20 million over the 6 days. And then all of a sudden we were there.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people were finishing the nodes.
No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We didn't make it. That was them going, oh, fuck, well, we'll make it look like they got it.
Yeah. I couldn't even get past with my maxed out teams. Yeah. The 4th node.
Well, that's what I was talking about with the Illuminati. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's something wrong when less than 10% of your player base, and that was less than a couple thousand.
I made it past the Illuminati, and I got 1.5%.
Yeah.
I made it past the Illuminati, I got 1.5%. That still had 4 nodes to go. And they got me 1 to 5%.
Yeah.
And I think I was healthily within that. I don't think that I was like right at the edge either.
Is that the 5?
But I was only at like 1900.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So 100,000, 200,000 people qualified. What did you need to do to qualify for the leaderboard?
Yeah. Shit? Well, what I'm saying is I think there's only 5,000 people that got to where I got, and that's 5%.
Which is insane.
I think the top...
Back in the day, it would have been 50,000 people.
There might have been 100 people that finished the whole thing, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't look at the thingy. I can't remember.
I can't remember the difference between points.
But that's the problem. It's like they made that for the 10% of the player base and left us 90% out in the cold, being like, haha, which was fine because the milestone points, we didn't need any of it.
Yeah.
I have Lalandra maxed out. I didn't need the crystals.
Well, here's the other part that sucks about that. Is in that same temporal cataclysm, we had a player that was 17th overall within our alliances. That's a free-to-play player. that finished the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He finished the whole thing. He's
He does. He builds
30.
those things.
No. He's 30 TCP lower than me. All he used was Astral and a couple things. But he's able to get through. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a percentage damage built into what it is for lower TCPs to make it a little bit easier if you have the higher tunes.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Now, everything is a stretch for him because everything's overpowered. So he didn't even have his tunes all leveled up. Because he's having a hard time with this overpowered BS.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, he might have had a couple teams and it was just enough to get by on that thing. But he's still having the same issues as everybody else is. And he was 17th.
Yeah. And that's the problem, is because my team's maxed out. I can't get more diamonds on them because Shadow King's not available.
No.
When I was using Astral. Like,
yeah.
You can't do nothing there.
Well, it's not farmable. You can go spend a shit ton of money and get him in a milestone when he comes around.
Well, yeah, the diamonds and whatnot, but everything's maxed out. Like, all the ISO, they're 105.
Should be good enough.
They were 19 because at that time 20 wasn't here.
Should be good enough.
I should have been able to cakewalk.
Should be good enough.
Full auto, walk away, come back in 5 minutes, and it's done.
Yeah.
Nope.
It should be geared for gear 17. 18 and 19 should be able to get through it with play, and then with auto.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Which with Professor X, yes, it said 17 were required. I was walking over it with my G19.
Right, because it makes you feel good, and then you get the other one, and you're like, oh shit.
In the G19, for Gladiator, I had one G20, and yeah, she walked over it, but it makes me worried about how much more difficult the rest of it's going to be.
Well, it's
probably
not that difficult, because 35 people already did it in less than 4 hours. Like, that's crazy.
And I mean, at this point, we're probably up to 50 by now.
Yeah.
Which is insane. I mean, I was in 100th place for the longest time. I went down to 200 last I looked.
I did a few nodes. I hit auto with my Orcus. When they stopped working, I stopped playing it. I'm not getting the end, so why do I need to do it?
Yeah. There's no point to rush. You get 23
When it
crystals.
comes to that 2 months and I got a helmet to go, I'll go try to push in that last week to see if maybe
it's 29 days. You have 29 days to get as far as you can.
So at 25, I'll go try to see where I can get as many red stars as I can.
But at this point, it looks like we're only going to get 2 red stars on him for free. And then after that, who knows? There's so many tunes that aren't available in red stars and diamonds yet.
It'll probably be the same thing as Heimdall, Odin. All my Odins are at 3 and 4 stars. I don't have anybody above that. Because I'm not going for that shit that fast. I'm not pushing like that.
And OML diamonds are apparently going to be locked behind the strike store. So if you spend, then you can buy them with your strike.
I don't think it was worded that way. I think that's the sky is falling. That's Boylon trying to stir shit.
Maybe it's to buy an orb for a guaranteed at it. But yet it'll be in the stores for dark
people watching the videos. That's all that is.
I don't know. Which is hilarious. The Envoys hated him because he data mined. So they kicked him out of the Envoy program. And now they all kiss his ass, and Boylan's the greatest, and he data mined this, and he did that. And
like I said, they're worried of a lawsuit. If they say his name and they don't give him praise, where are you going to sue him? Then they're coming after what they have, which is money.
Yeah.
They will lose money.
Which is why Dorky bowed down to Duarte, because Duarte threatened to sue him over bullshit. You took my counter. Who's to say you came up with it first?
Who gives a shit?
People take our counters all the time.
Here, I'll do you a favor. I'll take that video down for you. There you go. Done.
But yet, here he copyrighted my video and showed it on his stream. Did I go after him? No.
No.
Which, big no. You're not supposed to do that kind of stuff. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. That guy's a racist, sexist, homophobic piece of shit.
The way he treated his girlfriend, I don't know how he's still allowed to cover this game. Casino did far less. Far less, in my opinion, than that man has. And he is completely banned from this game and this community.
Yeah, Casino's just an asshole.
He's an honest asshole.
He's an honest asshole, but he's an asshole. He just tries to make too many excuses for himself. Like, dude, just be honest. Like, yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
My bad. I won't do it again, but yeah, I made a mistake. That's all you had to do. Very simple. I don't know.
But he kept dishing in on it. But
yeah, he kept making excuses for it. They're all my friends. I have gay friends. No, that's not what it's about, bro. Like, we understand that. You made a mistake. Just say I made a mistake. I made a mistake, but no, about it. Just made a mistake. It happens. Shit happens. But,
and those that know me know I've always thought that I'm pretty sure my real biological father is black. I've always felt like I've been part black. Love black people. More so than most of you white crackers. But I would never, ever in a million years say the N-word. That is the one word that if I ever hear anyone say, I don't care what color you are, oh, hell no.
Yeah, and that's what gets you in trouble, too.
Yeah. Like, no.
You got paid money to say it or something like that on the stream?
No amount of money.
Come on now.
No amount of money. Yeah. Elon Musk could offer me his entire bank account. No.
I'd say
not
it.
Okay.
I'd say it.
No.
For that, I'd say it.
Nope.
Then I'd go tell Chick, you can whoop my ass. Like a black godmother. I tell you can whoop my ass.
People, though.
You can whoop my ass and I'll help you. I'll help you and your family the rest of your life. If it's that much money, that's a little different.
I mean, yes, that's like changing money.
It's a little different.
A lot of people versus what he's spending.
That's a little different. That's like, hey, everybody in our alliance, let's go to Hawaii money. Let's go to Australia and vacation with JFK. That's that kind of money. Like, we'll go to Australia, go hang out with JFK, Walt. Then we'll go to London. We'll hang out with Echo. Then we'll go.
Those worldwide cruises with everybody. Book the whole ship.
Go to East Coast, hang out with D3 for a while. Go up to Canada, hang out with Skilly and
There's some things that aren't worth selling your soul for.
Yeah, I know.
You got to draw that line.
There's definitely an amount of money I'd be like, all right.
But this community just, I don't know. It's the haves and the have-nots, and Stokely is now.
Well, there's such a divide right now with that overpower. Yeah.
Like, okay, if you're on this line, we don't care about you. You're worthless to us.
Well, here's the problem with it though, because if they say, hey, we're going to knock it down some, then you have those ones that do spend money being like, no, we want our advantage.
Yep.
And if you knock it down, we're pulling out.
Yep. And we just spent to get our advantage, and we just leveled up to get that advantage. Yeah. They're kind of screwed now. Yeah. That should have happened right away, rather than looking at your numbers. Should just been like, you know what, we're going to roll this back. It shouldn't have been released in the first place because if the envoys did their fucking job and tested it on the test server and been like, whoa, wait a minute, Overpowered 11 just decimates teams.
Should have had 3 steps there.
We can't punch up against it. We can't do this. We can't do that.
Should have been devs, envoys, and players' council. All 3 of those should have had a say and told the people in the top, like, no, this ain't gonna work. If they played.
But to announce it and then be like, oh, here you go, now it's in game.
Because Pathy plays the game, Lori plays the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they play, they should see this and be like, oh, this isn't a good idea. They hear that from there, and then they go to the envoys, it's not a good idea. And they go to players' council, they go, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Be like, all right. But if you heard all 3 say it's not a good idea, and you went like, yeah, fuck it, we're going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
But then again, when Red Stars came out, who was the one that said, you may want to scale this back? And they listened to.
The Diamonds? Yeah.
No, Red Stars.
Red Stars, yeah.
Yeah, was Beta, the biggest spender.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when the biggest spender says roll back, they will. But the biggest spenders are obviously the ones pushing for this.
Yeah, this doesn't impact me at all.
And you can read the writing on the wall. Their radio silence speaks volumes.
Yeah, doesn't impact me one bit. Go ahead. You can do it. Yeah, do it all you want.
Sorry, this video is going to be a tidbit long. My bad.
It is going to be a little long.
Maybe we'll break it into 2 parts.
Ooh, we could have. I don't know where we would have separated it. One of your beautiful segues.
Cliffhanger.
One of your beautiful segues. You can separate it there.
Who knows? Maybe we're going to separate it right here, and we'll never know.
You would never know, unless you know. I mean, if you knew, then you knew. Man, that was a good burp too. It stunk, didn't it? It was the broccoli.
That was Chinese.
I had Chinese food. You know,
like bell peppers.
Oh man, it's so good.
It didn't have bell peppers in it.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah.
Did there?
The shrimp one did have a little bit in it.
That's probably why I didn't like the shrimp one.
Could be.
I don't like bell peppers.
Alright, you guys. Well, anyways, yeah, this is the end of this video. It was a little long one, but yeah, Season 3 is off and running. Hopefully we'll do more of them. And it's not Season 4 the next time you hear from us.
Right, well, we mainly stopped because...
Okay, here we go. We're going to go into this. We're going to play the sad, somber music now as she tells her
my
story.
little mini violin.
Yeah, here we go. Tell your story.
No, I just feel like... I don't know if the right word is ostracized, but I feel like I'm holding you back with my opinions and my voice, because it seems like whenever I am brought up anywhere in this community anymore, like I'm looked down upon because I don't know what the rumors are, or like people thought I was trying to extort money from people. Like I just always offered to help and give them graphics if they needed it. I don't charge anybody. If people ask, well, how much do you want? Just give me a Twitch sub or sub viz to your channel.
And if you ask me, my flat rate's $25. I think it's worth their time.
Then they end up PayPaling me, which I never did get PayPaled by an envoy, but that's okay. I don't even think that segment's anywhere anymore. I think the one Taco was on might have been one of the only ones I ever saw.
He's a douchebag anyways, doesn't he?
But I just feel like I'm the one holding you back, and I didn't want that. I want him to become an envoy so that he can get some of this info. I can help with graphics, so we can help more people.
That is the end goal.
Seem like I think I'm the one that's the one holding back, but.
Okay, so you guys in chat, tell her she's completely fucking wrong.
You can call me crazy because legit I am.
Crazy's fun too.
I've been diagnosed, not quite crazy, but.
I mean, you married me. You have to be a little crazy.
I was saying.
But no, I think your opinion is great because it's a lot of the times it's the opposite of what mine is. So that makes for conversation, and conversation is good. We need conversation in order to make this a better game and make this a better world overall. Is to have conversations. If we don't have those conversations, there makes hate, there makes, hard feelings and consequences for things. So it's good to have those conversations.
Unless you're having a conversation about politics with a 19-year-old that knows nothing, because that's really
okay. That's a story for another kind of video. Let's do that another time.
Home, bring up politics.
Lord.
Oh, it's fun.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's like poking a hornet's nest when you're allergic to bees.
Yeah. Well, anyways, on that note, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening in. Those of you that are listening in, there's probably going to be 16 to 30, I would think, probably listening in. That's usually the numbers that we get.
Scrappy do at this point.
Scrappy, Echo, T.
Vandy's busy though.
Vandy. Yeah, if you're one of those people, say hello. If you're not one of those people, please say hello because we like the Blade listens to them.
Yeah. And what do you think of the new Alliance name and all the names this child came up with?
Gosh.
It's great, isn't it?
It's fucking hilarious is what it is. Oh my lord.
Bunch of grown-ass children.
So, if you guys don't know already, our name in our alliance is a safe place for anal.
I thought we were overpowered anal.
Oh, now, yes, we are overpowering anal.
And that is K-N-U-L-L.
Yeah, it is. It's K-N-U-L-L, like the character. It's overpowering anal. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's not A, it's
So
overpowering
every boy in this
no.
alliance pretty much has that variation of a name. And here I am, Queen Laquifa.
I am a Noel Pounder is one of my names. The other one is Three-Fingered Anole. Another one is...
You'll get us banned from YouTube with all these.
Anole, I'm saying an Anole. It's the name of a character. Anole Punisher is another one.
Yeah.
We have a no leakage. We have a no man. I thought was great. It's like way to use a word like that's big. That's awesome.
With crayons.
Anole. It's not anal. It's anole. Anole with crayons.
Whatever. Anal.
No, it's anole.
Say A.
It's anole. Anole. Anole with crayons. It's simple and basic and kid-like and fun. It's nothing inappropriate.
No, never. This group of kids. Oh my lord.
Oh my gosh. These are great. They crack me up every day.
Well, that's the little things. You gotta,
You gotta have fun with it.
You gotta put a smile on your face. And there was a course funding event, so why not change our names?
Right. 200 cores, get you some points. A couple
only
of
200 points.
Yeah,
1
really,
point.
really
Like, dude, give me 4 points for these cores. I would have probably been number 1 with all the cores I would have spent.
Alright, well anyways, like I said before, we do love you guys and thank you for listening in. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe because it does kind of help, even though it's not monetized. It does let me know that people are actually listening and I have new people listening, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, stop by my Twitch whenever I decide to do one, because I'm pretty sporadic with that. But when I do my streams, it's usually for quite a while. And I do like helping people, so if you need help, come by. I'm there to help. I will help. I swear to you. That's what I do. So, anyways, until next time, I'm Viz.
I'm Sable.
Peace.